Well, Don, we're at the end of our journey. It's been kind of nice having you.
Yeah, it's been kind of nice being here.
You've been a bit of a pain in the ass, but to tell you the truth, it's been a wonderful week. And Orly and I and Oren and our family have really enjoyed having you. I mean, it's a year and a half since we met you. And I knew when I first met you that you were special. Anyhow, you've proved it this week. It's been a wonderful week. We've seen Israel through your eyes. You've given us a perspective about the country that is extremely interesting, and I think it's extremely important because coming from a background of a displaced nation, I think you understand and identify with many of the things that are happening in this country. So it was great to hear you, and it was great to discourse you. It was wonderful being with Oren, Orly's son, who's a tour guide, and until you came, we never really had the opportunity to travel with him and to see him in action. And for us, he kind of contributed to family bonding, so thank you.
Okay. Well, it was an amazing trip on my end. What I found absolutely incredible to begin with was the generosity and the kindness of the offer to have me out here. I mean, this could never have happened if you hadn't made that offer.
Oh, we're just wonderful, thank you.
And I also found Oren to be a very likable person. Now I have anxiety around new people a lot of times. I find it easier to public speak than to interact intimately with somebody that I don't know very well. So having his quiet, gentle nature with his constant ribbing of Solly really broke the ice and made it fun. And the fact that he was intelligent, articulate, and able to give insights that you might miss if you're just walking through the area and you're not a walking encyclopedia of information.
By the way, you forgot Orly.
Well, I'm getting around to Orly. I'm saving the best for last.
Okay.
So what I find about you, Solly, is you have a wonderful mix of charm, personality, absent-mindedness, and fire in there that makes for a constantly intriguing and educating experience. You speak direct and. People don't have to guess what you're thinking or feeling. I like that because as a person on the autism spectrum, I have a hard time reading people. As an observer, when I'm just watching, I pick up on many details that lots of people would miss. But yeah, I like the fact that that I'm dealing with a brilliant mind that has, some people have character. You are a character. and then there's Orly. I got to admit, when it comes to the logistics, the organization and stuff, Orly is the brains and the backbone of this operation because she did the planning, she packed the meals, she took care, and one thing I found awkward at first, but I actually quickly grew to like it, was the fact that Orly's motherly kindness comes across. She does and won't let you lift a finger to do when you want to try to reciprocate. She's just always there, willing to do for others, and always wanting to make sure people are comfortable and happy and safe. And I actually found myself quite spoiled by the end of this trip. There's a lot of wonderful things. I feel like I am one of the most fortunate people on earth to have such wonderful friends. Breaking bread with your family, learning about Jewish traditions, all of this stuff was just absolutely astounding. And what I'm looking forward to over the next 3 weeks is putting a lot of time and effort into processing my photos and videos and weaving together the stories that I want to tell.
Great. Can you, out of curiosity, briefly tell me the story you're going to tell? I mean, we've talked about us and our rapport, et cetera. How about Israel?
My take on Israel is that it's one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in my life, and it's diverse. It's multicultural, but it is distinctly Jewish. There's both. Everywhere you go, you can find it's like stepping into different worlds, but they're so close together. The feel of one place when you've been there and you're watching things and learning, it's like multiple distinct little societies all pushed together side by side. It's a neighborhood, but it's international in both scale and scope. But the fabric that seems to weave it all together is the strength, the history, and the culture of the Jewish people. Everywhere you go, there's something distinctly Jewish, but then you'll also find something that's Mediterranean, European. You'll find Arabic, and all these cultures are just so pushed together. It's just like the major religions all pushed together in one little tiny place. There's nothing like it anywhere else on earth. There really isn't. I can't think of any place that I've ever read or heard of that can take you into a different world. A short drive away is another world, and in some instances, it's a short walk away. Walking from Jerusalem to Old Jerusalem, it's
From West Jerusalem to the old city, yeah.
Yeah, the old city. Yeah, thank you for correcting me on that. I do get the semantics mixed up sometimes, but you don't feel like you're in the same place. You feel like you've walked through a time portal and you're in a different place at a different time. It's not the same, but it's full of modern stuff. But it's got that
Old world authenticity, perhaps.
That's a good way to put it. It certainly is an alienating feeling at first, until you get used to the crowds, and then you realize that in these crowds are lots of colorful individuals that will welcome you and talk to you and make you feel at ease and at home. And that, you can't find that in a lot of places. I've traveled all over Canada, and I know Canadians are friendly people, and Canada is a beautiful country. But you have to drive many, 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 many hours to get from one place to the next if you want to get the feel for a different culture. It's not a 10-minute drive. It's not a 1-hour drive. It's something different. And yeah, I'm going to go on for a long time.
Yeah. I'm not going to let you, because we got to get
to
to the airport. But I just wanted to say in closing, if I may, that first of all, as a Winnipegger, and I guess an Israeli, I've been here since 1964. It's wonderful having you. Kind of, again, the bridge of cultures and the bridge of minds. I did a book, a personal odyssey from Winnipeg to Jerusalem. And one of the reasons I invited you was because I really felt that you were a link between my past and my present and our future. And Don, I'm counting on you. I'm extremely impressed with your photographic skills, but mainly with your speaking acumen and your perception of the Middle East. Don, you've got a message. And I'm not propagandizing when I say that I think your message is really right on. And I think, and I hope that when you get back home, you'll be able to really express, besides showing the beautiful pictures and scenery that you photograph, but talking about the country, the heart of the country, the politics of the country, the reality of the country. I think that you've got a unique perspective that should be and has to be shared with others. And I'm counting on you to do that. So,
thank you.
God bless you. Have a good trip home, and it's been wonderful.